We got Cryptonut and we got ENS guys here with us tonight representing for Flying Avocado Cat. Again, FAC token launched on November 17th. Small starting market cap, only 4K. On their all-time high, they were just under 4 million. And right now they're sitting just under 2, which for a month-old token with a bit of a unique narrative, right? It's not so much, these copy and paste that we see, but it is also playing off of a big trend and a big meta in the space right now, which is GROK AI. So Flying Avocado Cat was actually the first ERC-20 Smart Contract token created using GROK AI with the prompts in that protocol. So I'm really excited to kind of get in and break down with you guys exactly how that looked. I know you guys, for anybody who hasn't checked it out, if you click on the X link on the post on our Telegram channel, that will actually take you to the creation video that these guys have posted for their token on X or on Twitter. So again, anybody who's looking to see the visual side of what we're going to talk about throughout the early part of this AMA with their origin story, you guys can check that out linked on the post on the channel through the X button. So just wanted to let everyone know. But yeah, no, I like what you guys are doing. As you said, community has been the strength. You guys have some awesome community branded content. I love if you guys have kind of, taken the name of the FAC'CER around the space. I know, I'm going to suggest it throughout, but, I'd love to see maybe some funny avocado memes of like meet the parents, right? Because they were the FAC'CERs. You guys could be the FAC'CERs, right? So like you guys could have some fun with that. For me, it's just 100%. The creativity and the potential and some of the, the community generated content that I've seen that has really kind of pulled me in and again got me interested in wanting to hear more. And that's why, again, we brought you guys in for the AMA. From the chart perspective, you guys have held out quite nice for a month-old project in the space with how quickly the narratives can change. So again, the community seems pretty solid on this one. I love how they're continuously creating content. For anybody who hasn't yet, the best thing to do maybe after the AMA would be to check out their community. You can jump in, do your research from there. But yeah, the community on this one has definitely been on fire. Lots of good content put out, and we've seen that's how these meme narratives have taken off in the past, right? It's not always overnight, but if the community stays active and the content stays strong, you never know when the catalyst may turn. So I appreciate you both for coming by the channel today. And with that, I will throw you the mic to introduce yourself.
So, hey, this is Crypto Donut, and I've been in the space since 2017. Well, I guess first thing to get out of the way, like neither of us are founders of this project. We're both just humble community members that kind of fell in love with this story and are looking to get the word out. So that out of the way, my background, done some like traditional finance stuff, got interested in crypto in 2017, started investing in the space professionally in 2021. So I have a fund with, outside investor backing. And like, because of that, I've been pretty much like a fundamentals purist for a very long time. And then earlier this year, I made my first meme coin play with Turbo, and then more recently GROK. And the key thing for me is I need to be able to talk to my investors and say, like, I backed this meme coin for something other than just vibes. And so I look for like really unique stories and like structural setups. And I think that we like found both of those things in Flying Avocado Cat. So this is like my new favorite meme that I'm trying to just be along this ride. To the moon and beyond. There's a lot of like cool mystery stuff behind this project we'll be able to dive into, but before we get into that, I'll let ENS guy introduce himself.
Hello, I'm ENS guy. I've been in crypto since 2017 also, early 2017, because I was mining BTC with a friend of mine since 2015 or something, and basically that's how the ride started, because we had trading only BTC, like back in the days with Cryptopia and so on. And basically, I was also like Crypto Donut, only like a fundamental guy until 2021. And I bought SHIB like in the third day and so on. Because like in my mind, I bought SHIB only for, not for the meme, like initially. Initially, I bought it just because like it was like the first meme like Doge on Ethereum. So I wrote that up and then I got interested into the memes, you know, and kind of that it is. I joined the Flying Avocado Cat narrative also. I've been also in GROK, and the Flying Avocado Cat took me by surprise because actually it has like more narratives in my view. It has the narrative of like being the first ERC-20 coded by GROK entirely, like all the smart contract was written by GROK, and also the narrative of the mysterious dev, which like he is like an early access to GROK. Like there weren't many people having access to that, which makes it like it gives the project like another narrative beside the meme,
Yeah.
which is like the name of the meme. It's so memeable. You like it can fit any age, any style. Like you can do everything out of it. You can do like, I don't know, plushies. You can do like for pins for the backpacks. You can do like, I don't know, like it's so memeable. And it's also like the dev, because he was like a early, he had GROK early access. He was he's he burned all the supply because he needed to comply with the rules, you know, with the, I don't know how it is in English, and sorry for my English because like
Terms of
I'm not
service.
native. Yeah, for the terms of service. And basically all the work that he's doing now, he's doing it for the love of the project, which is like another really cool stuff. He edited the site, like we have from the dev side, like the roadmap, it's like the chapter 2, how he is calling it, it will be like the first ERC-721 smart contract, and then some NFTs drops and so on. Like he's putting time in this meme, although he doesn't have like any financial help me crypto donut because I don't find the words.
Yeah, like
Incentive.
there aren't like clear like greed motivations here, which was part of the thing that I thought was like really interesting and unique. Like um, when when we say that he had like early access to GROK, um, I got I had early access as well, but he had, and we're assuming it's a he. It goes by V, this developer, and he had like if you look at the creation video, there are some features within that video that are not present in any of the other early access videos. Like he had a version of GROK that had like extra permissions, which there we have like a whole channel called the PSYOP channel where people are like doing all this investigative work, trying to figure out like, is there something deeper going on here? Because it's just interesting. Like the developer's totally anonymous, so like if they weren't a like ex insider or something, like they probably wouldn't need to care about breaking the terms of service. So there's all sorts of like people hypothesizing that like, oh, this is going to be a play for the X payments network or something bigger. That's all speculation for now, but like it is quite cool. If you look at our total supply on Dex tools, it'll say 9.16 mil, and the project started out at 10 mil, and the dev like V burned initially like 4 or 5%, which was like the dev's allocation originally, and then put liquidity into the V2 liquidity pool, which you see is like 200K right now, but also burned those LP tokens. So like that liquidity can't get pulled. And I feel like that's one of the things that I'm usually nervous about with meme coins is like, is someone just going to, rug all the liquidity on me? Because like the assumption is like whoever's developing it is doing it out of a sense of greed. And I don't know, there's just like something else, something unique is going on here, which is cool. So we can dive into whatever.
Oh, and again, I really appreciate you guys kind of going into some detail, and the narrative was really cool. And I know our private group was chatting about it. I think I saw somebody bring it in there and start the discussion point around 80 to 100K shortly after your launch. I want to say it was around like the 18th of November is when they kind of first brought it in there. And yeah, like people seem to respond really positively. I know there was a couple people who are still holding and picked up positions then because it was something that was different. And I don't know if anybody remembers, a couple months ago, there was a play on Twitter that kind of used a similar kind of concept, but with OpenAI, when OpenAI was pumping and that was a bigger narrative. Somebody went out and created a token and tokenomics and everything utilizing that protocol, and it was quite successful, right? So the writing was on the walls, so to speak, from something like that. With the attention around GROK, it makes sense, for you guys to see the success that you have in the early stages, and for the community to still be, very active, right? Because the narrative is there. So, I mean, and you never know, right? So the one thing for me that, I'll kind of keep it on the lines of GROK and more so the protocol. With Elon tweeting about GROK so much, like how can you guys as a community being inspired from, something that he created and again, doing a great job with the content, with the fun, with the brand, how can you guys maybe go out there and get his attention? Because we see what an Elon tweet can do to just some random name. But if, we've seen what it can do as a catalyst to a community that's already formed, and you guys are kind of starting to take that shape where your community is strong, the content is there, and something like that could really push you over the top.
Well,
Totally.
like,
Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead,
the
Enos.
meme is the key, like the meme is the key, because like we are like constantly tweeting to Elon like on every comment and so on, we try to make the tweets in a way that the meme fits the subject of the tweet, and also pointing out the GROK creation, because like we have all the proofs. I don't know if you saw in the images, but we have all the proof, like GROK saying that it's like the first smart contract coded by GROK, So this is the push that we are like trying to do to get something from Elon,
And there's suspicion that V knows Elon, like just based on some of the things that the PSYOP group has kind of tried to connect the dots on. So like we think that like Elon may be aware of the project already. Like obviously, yeah, we're commenting and just trying to make good, catchy content without being too annoying for him. I mean, not that he's like sees every notification, but yeah, I mean that's getting his attention and potentially already having it through V is definitely something that could like grow this project in the future. One of the other cool developments coming up is that the same developer, V, is working on the first ERC-721 NFT contract made by GROK that will be an NFT for this community and will be another kind of way to get the word out. And it's something that I saw so I was one of the early investors in Turbo. I was just lucky enough to come across Rhett's original tweet and was one of the first 50 wallets that that contributed. So that went really well. And I joined this community much later, but because I saw the same potential, and like Turbo, some community member launched NFTs, it got more attention. And so I think a similar playbook is coming together here. But again, like no one knows the identity of V. We still see him like active, and he's always like watching within the Telegram, and sometimes that's his commentary. But just like ENS and I kind of coordinating this today, like we're still a pretty grassroots community. Like everyone's just doing whatever they can to push the project forward.
No, I think that's, again, kind of what you want to see in the first month of any community formation. And you guys have done a great job. And then you have kind of that card up your sleeve, right? With just that really unique narrative and the origins of the token, and, coming out of the GROK AI protocol is very different, right? So for me, it's, GROK has, as a narrative in the crypto space, has done a really good job of bringing normal people in, and just maybe if they're not holding tokens, maybe they'll be interested, join in. So like, what have you guys been able to do, or what are you guys seeing like from an onboarding perspective? Like, are some of your community members that you guys are coming in contact with just because of the narrative? Like, is this the first meme coin maybe some people have bought in your community? And like, have you guys had to help them out? Because as we've seen with, you mentioned Shiba, but Doge was a big one. SafeMoon was another one. That was a lot of people's first time participating or actually purchasing a token. So there is a certain level of, help from a community or a team that has to happen for that to go smoothly.
Well,
For sure.
we have some new
Ian.
guys. Like we like in every tweet, or sometimes you get questions, where should I buy it? What is this? Because like the meme is so catchy. Like even the Sean Ono, like the son of like John Lennon, he's like teasing with us without. I don't know if you saw, but we are using those emojis for like flying avocado cat. And he's like always retweeting, liking our tweets and so on. So basically, like we have reach outside of the crypto Twitter, which is like a really good thing, because like this means that this meme can onboard new people to the crypto space, because like it's catchy, it's like nice. It can be nice, it can be bad, it can be funny, it can be everything, Also, like another thing that I wanted to point out, because we spoke about the mystery behind, like having a dev like unknown like this, it kind of fits the narrative of BTC. If you think in a way, like this is like what I wanted to point out about like having an anonymous dev that it's not financially incentivized in the project and he's still active,
Yeah, it's cool. And we've got just incredible mods that are just all like, they're all volunteers in the Telegram, like Funerals and Jita, Shadow, like just an awesome group of folks that have come together to work on this and absolutely help kind of new people on board who have maybe never purchased a token on a decentralized exchange before. This community has been like really positive and helpful, I think, to folks like that, which is cool to see. And yeah, I mean, it's good vibes, fun memes, and the chance of 1000x upside is nice. Obviously, no financial advice here. All opinions are my own. Crypto's risky. Just getting the disclaimers out of the way.
No, I kind of have to do the same, on my end as a host in the channel. So appreciate you kind of taking some of that slack off me for the disclaimers. But no, I appreciate that, and I do like the content. I like the brand. Like my background was kind of more in marketing and sales prior to coming to crypto. So for me, I think a lot of the times branding and, that type of emotional connection sometimes people can get to a project is overlooked. And, I always say, remove your emotions, but I think it's the fun element, like the ability to create laughter, create that, positive feeling that's what I'm talking about when I'm referencing the emotions. And you guys do have, a very trendy character and kind of mascot logo to build around, right? With also like avocados are one of the most popular food items depending on where you are in the world. I know my friends in Australia like avocado and toast, like that's like their go-to for breakfast, for brunch, like they love it. So it is an international character, which is what I was kind of getting at. So like what are you guys doing as you scale that community to build out different international hubs? And within that, how do you just make sure like the messaging and the vibe stays the same across those different languages and those different international communities?
I mean, for now we only have like one digit, but like if we go like big, for sure we can manage to make like probably a Discord server, or like we can do like a Telegram with like more channels, you know what I mean, with languages and so on. Like we can adapt to everything because like we have some experience in this space and we know how to manage things. Also, like you asked before, how we can like help the community. Like in the first week, I hosted some spaces where I literally explained, because I'm also like doing leverage trading and so on, to chill people, to relax people about the chart, to tell them not to FOMO. We had also some educational stuff going on, not only about the project, like explaining to the guys that bought a bit higher and so on, like how to proceed, and not financial advice, but like the educational part, like to make them understand, like to not FOMO in next time when they buy something. Don't FOMO in just because you saw that influencer that made the chart and he drew a line up and that's it, We're trying to do our best to like create a healthy community, and this is the beginning, in every project, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And again, you
Yeah.
guys have done a great job. Donut, sorry, I'll throw back to you.
You're good. No, I mean, yeah, I was just saying, I think we've got the mods are fantastic in the existing Telegram, and you pay attention, there are like a decent number of big like crypto OG wallets starting to nibble on this. So there are like smart, experienced people in the room. And so I think like looking towards other communities and doing like language translation and stuff, like I think as we grow, we'll be able to like kind of structurally update the community kind of as needed. And
I do have a quick question, actually, just while we're on the
yeah,
topic of wallets. I didn't want to cut you off, but just because sometimes we get going down a different topic line, and I didn't want to forget it because it is something that's important. So you guys have done a pretty good job with regards to the distribution. The only wallet really for me that's like outstanding, it's a little bit bigger, is that FAC whale that I'm sure you guys are aware of. Just looking at the Etherscan, I think they hold about 4.2%. So is this somebody that the team is potentially familiar with, if you guys had contact with? And the reason I ask is because sometimes if it's somebody that you guys know, and they're not likely to sell big chunks, people may feel more confident to buy in earlier, versus if it's somebody maybe you guys aren't as familiar with. A lot of the times, as you mentioned, bigger wallets are starting to nibble. Well, you're not going to see probably any bigger bites from those larger wallets or those well-known wallets until that 4% dwindles down a little bit, right? So we've seen this as kind of a a barrier or a bit of a ceiling for projects in the past, but it's not hindered them, because, you know, I've seen projects 3-4 months down the line, once those wallets get out, they can still really push. So it's nothing that's like a long-term or a real issue, but just important to know the relationship, I think, for people who are maybe newer and just looking at the size of the supply that they have between that wallet and the team, and if there's you know, some connection there. That's all.
Like we said, like it's no team, it's basically the community. We spoke about that like in the spaces. We don't know who he is, like have no idea. The only thing we saw, it's that he's constantly buying bottoms, you know. This is like the, because like he made 2 waves of buys, you know, from what I remember, and those buys were like supporting the chart, you know, kind of, from what I saw.
Sure. Just, yeah, I was just kind of curious if potentially somebody had done some blockchain detective work and maybe uncovered who within the community may hold that wallet, because I've seen teams try and maybe reach out or connect with those big holders just to give them more kind of positive outlook and just that kind of peace of mind, maybe for some of those bigger wallets, again, just with the supply
I mean,
sitting like double what like the next closest holder would have. So again, I'm not somebody who is, you know, so much but, you know, for me with meme coins distribution, when bigger people are looking to get in, is really, really important. So that's something I did want to touch on.
Yeah, like we
100%.
also had these discussions, you know, but we have like the detectives channel, you know what I mean, where everything was like inspected, you know, even the wallets, even the dev, even the everything, you know, like that's why I pasted you that Discord channel, because that's like the psyop, you know, it's like the intelligence department over there, and they also didn't catch who might be, you know. All
It's
that we
not
know,
an
it's
issue at
like,
all either way, but I know sometimes just if there is that connection, and, you know, that individual is vocal about the project. I know we've seen with example a few others we've had on here where the individuals, you know, just come out and publicly dox themselves as like the large holder, and then, you know, if they have a good reputation in the space, obviously that's, you know, a very positive catalyst in most situations for
yeah,
that project, right? So
yeah, it's nothing
Agreed.
like the GROK whale, if like we can make like a
you know
reference, you know
exactly
what
what I
I
was
mean?
talking about.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because like we know I was there. I told you that's where I met Will also, which is
Oh
like,
yeah,
by the way,
no,
a
yeah,
great
no.
guy.
Will's, you know, Will's
Yeah,
fantastic. Just honestly, just
yeah,
like such a positive, just energetic, lively dude. One of
yeah,
the
exactly.
best additions we've had on the channel
The
for sure.
Cause like he was the same. He is doing like the same as we do here, like trying to help people, trying to teach the way, the good way to not get burned and so on, you know. So he was basically doing the same thing with GROK, you know, which like that's why I appreciated him. And since I knew that he was with you guys, I said, bro, like every time, like good people, you know, tend to grab another, people are like the same around them, you know, like if you know what I mean, like smart people
Like
gets
good people
together, you
kind of
know.
gravitate
Yeah, yeah,
towards one
yeah,
another. Yeah, I feel you.
yeah,
Flying avocado cats of a feather fly together, as they say.
Yes, there you go. Keep it
yeah,
on brand. I
yeah.
love that. But no, so I wanted to kind of keep on the narrative of the community, and sorry to spend so much time on like the ether scan distribution question. I know, again, we've seen those bigger wallets in the past. If they come out and they hold, it's great. You know, if they slowly sell off healthy on volume, never hurts a project. And even sometimes in the situations where, you know, those larger wallets do dump more than is expected, it doesn't necessarily spell the end. We've seen that just as sometimes an opportunity for people who are maybe hit it, waiting for that to happen, waiting for those larger amounts to get out, you know, maybe nibbling in, maybe just kind of watching the community, we've seen those bigger wallets exiting sometimes actually push projects to new all-time highs. So I just want to make sure we kind of there is some really positive things to speak of if that wallet were to exit potentially over time. It's not that big of a deal. And if you
I don't
guys
think
again just go ahead.
Yeah,
Enos.
sorry. I wanted to point out on this wallet, like our chart, if you look at it, you see like how much we stayed, we bottomed out, and you see all those spikes to the downside. Like the energy in the TG, it's like, I don't know, like people are, sometimes you see like random people that you never saw on the Telegram, like, or like they were like a bit like slow, they didn't join exactly the vibe so much because they were waiting for a position, you know what I mean? Exactly after a spike down, they became active, it's like people are waiting the opportunity to grab a dip, so that's why like I'm not worried about that wallet, because
Yeah.
like I see what's happening in the community,
I think, it's very smart for people to pay attention to distribution. Like, it's just a good part of risk management and deciding kind of where you want to place your bets. And for me, one of the things that I thought was interesting about the structure here before I started buying in was that the smart contract was set up so that in the initial on the initial release, no one was able to buy, I think, more than a percentage point, or so it was low, like it was capped so that the distribution would be wide, and then
it was like 0.5% or something like that. The max wallet,
yeah. So people have had to kind of accumulate on their own over time, which is, I think, somewhat unique. Like, typically you just have these grants to you've already identified KOLs and you want to give them distributions. In this case, it was set up intentionally in a way to have a wide distribution. So when I came in, I did see that that FAC'CER had a pretty large allocation that he or she, they had accumulated over time. And I sort of just weighed that out with what I already knew about the developer tokens being burned and removed from the float. And I was like, all right, I think that can kind of offset things for me. And not from an ego perspective, but we have decently big wallets in here that I think are also holding back. I sort of chilled out on my buying to not own a intimidatingly large percentage, but if some giant whale started dumping, I would be I can gobble that up without breaking a sweat. And one thing I'll also note, I can only speak for myself as far as people who own a couple percent of supply. You can look at my track record on Turbo, and I don't sell spot. If I own a meaningful percentage of supply, I don't sell my token spot. The only way that I will take some liquidity out and try to distribute those tokens over time is through adding liquidity to a Uniswap V3 pool above the range where we're currently trading. So if price moves up, because I'm bullish on the project, I anticipate it will, then it moves into my trading zone, and as it passes through my trading zone, it's converted into ETH, and I'll add more liquidity higher, wherever targets are. But I don't enter projects for 5 or 10x. I don't get out of bed for a meme coin if I don't think it's going to go 100x. So just some transparency for the FAC'CERs.
I love that, man. And so, do you guys have plans to maybe build out your own little comic strip or a anime story or something like that? Because you have again, it seems like you could make like a Fockers like the
The
Godfather
comic
style
book.
like, little comic
Well,
strip based on like the
yeah,
avocados with like a mafia vibe. It's just there's a few different ways you could play it, but there's a lot of fun you could have, and I think that will add to the allure of the brand and the narrative that you're trying to create.
exactly what you are saying now. We spoke yesterday in Spaces, like only by speaking, like ideas pop up, We are speaking like maybe doing like something like a comic book,
And comic
That,
book plushies.
yeah,
One of our
well, I mean,
mods knows a director, and we're
well,
gonna see if we can make a little smart film.
we've seen the success. Speaking of plushies, anybody who follows, NFT projects or Pudgy Penguins, right? Like the success they've had getting their plushies into Walmart and big name box stores. I don't know if anybody's seen the Pudgyverse that they just kind of released. Like I forget the name of the island, but it looks really cool. So like those types of branded items, if you have a good character, which you guys have a really kind of like funny, like honestly, this may sound weird, but your character could honestly be like the number one selling like dog toy. Because I have a dog and he absolutely loves his avocado toys. And the fact that it's like an avocado with a cat on it, it would be like a funny play for a dog toy. I honestly think that would be. I know it's a more of a long term. You have to get certain levels of adoption. You would have to have suppliers and access to. I understand that, but for me, that would be like an absolute home run, and it could just be a ton of fun. Like I haven't ever seen a project go the route of a dog toy or a pet toy, right? Like that's kind of different.
Yeah, the
It's brilliant.
possibilities with this meme, it's like unlimited, to be honest. Like you basically can do anything, and like on the way, like if the projects exactly like you said, like you need to hit like a bigger market cap or something, and then you will see people actually do something like bigger, like scale up the ideas, like actually implementing them, So for sure we can do stuff, because like if we have a strong community, the higher you go, the higher like you have the more people can chip in and start to do something like really good, So for sure a lot of things can be done, and it will be like a community. It is like a community project, so who knows, like we can vote on what's next and so on. In my opinion,
Yeah.
also like, yeah, sorry,
Oh, go ahead.
you
Go
go.
ahead. I was going to say the ideas are
In,
just flowing, and that doesn't happen if you have just like a copy and paste type of mascot or logo or brand that you're trying to build up, right? It is unique and it's fun because it's kind of inspired and created off of GROK, which again is being built up and is one of the leading names right now. If you're talking about social metrics and social score, GROK is top two, top three on that side of the world. So you guys have done a good job with the brand, and again, because it's very approachable, the ideas kind of flow, and I think that's why you guys have seen such quality content created from your community. I did share the song that you dropped me, that John Cena clip from Jimmy Fallon with the music in the background. So I did
yeah,
share that in the comment
yeah.
section on the channel, so everybody could kind of take a look at some of the content that people have put out. But for me, you guys have an outside the box character. You're somewhat playing off of a meta and a narrative that isn't going to go away, being GROK. So you can stay kind of within those news cycles on the social media side of things, which is great. You can kind of get some of that free exposure linked to that if you get your community really active. And are you guys utilizing like Shield within the community for your raids, just to maybe make it a bit more effective
I
and
I
whatnot?
wanted to I wanted to touch 2 points. You asked about the shield now, but I wanted to touch a bit about the GROK, Why it's this meme so good? I wanted to tell you like in the beginning, but you know how you get like confused, like caught up in the ideas and in the direction of the speech. The point I think that this meme it's so good because like it's created by the name was given by GROK. Okay, so you can see in the video that the name was like literally picked up by GROK. Like GROK, it's an AI model. Okay, like it's an AI language. So GROK has access to all the X, okay, all the X tweets, opinions, like preferences and so on. He chose a flying avocado cat. The cat, it's like one of like the most loved animals. Like a lot of memes are with cat and so on. The avocado, it's the healthy thing to eat, loved by like a lot of people. And also like you have the flying ability, which is like about freedom, you know, in my opinion. So I don't think you can go wrong with it. I wanted to touch this because like for sure it I don't think GROK could have created something that it's not catchy, you know? That's the point, because it has all the data to do that. And also you asked me about the shield. We have shield. The mods are like, we really need to shout out for the mods because like they are doing this for free. Like they don't even like, I think two of them are not even involved in the token. They just like the meme and the project. So every time there is like a hack, a drain, something, they post, they announce on the Telegram, they alert people and so on. The shield in our community, it's like if you post a link on the TG, you instantly get like 10 likes, retweets, and so on, like comments and everything. The shield, we use it only like for important raids, you know, like if we want to snipe some Elon, you know how it is, or some big influencer, and you want to have like the most part of the community.
No, I
So
think
if
that,
I
again, I really, I love the narrative here, and I'm a big fan of the kind of your character. Like I do, it honestly reminds me of a dog toy I have. I'll have to send you a picture in DMs afterwards what it looks like, the avocado toy. But if you slapped a cat head on top of that, it would be even better in my opinion. So, I mean, you guys might have yourself a little hidden gem there. But it's just fun.
Some strong IP.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think that the best thing about this project, and I think why your community keeps active, keeps producing the content, is that it's fun, right? And I think a lot of the times because there's money involved, because it's yes, it's a form of an investment. A lot of people lose sight of that, but memes as a whole, from their origin, before tokens got linked to them, were all about community and all about fun. And I think you guys have done a great job at kind of keeping the origins and what a meme was supposed to be before it got pulled into crypto and tokenized and whatnot. So, I think that element for me is a big one. And you guys kind of describe yourself as having, tier one meme potential. And I would agree. You're not there yet in terms of holder counts and whatnot, but the potential, because of the character is really memeable. We haven't had a cat token outside of maybe Smurf Cat pop off in about a year. So there is kind of a time for a big mover from like a feline perspective, if we're talking about the animal cycle. And then you guys also are kind of playing off of the origins through the GROK AI, which the AI meta right now is so strong. We're seeing multiple, a couple $100 million plus projects that started out from low cap. So, you kind of have that dual approach on the narrative. Now it makes sense. But again, as anybody should, go check out the community for yourself. And what maybe are you guys doing for upcoming meme contests? You guys running a fun little Christmas, maybe, Christmasify your FAC'CER cat or something like that. Like, you guys could have so many different fun little contests.
We had that idea to make like a meme contest. I don't know if we need to choose the theme, like we had a drawing contest, by the way, like 1 week ago, like some good drawings, some good engagements. also hosted by Jonesy, because like Jonesy, it's like he made until now like 5 videos for us, you know. And then there was a guy which like created the song, and Jonesy heard the song and he did another video, you know. So this is the level of involvement. And yeah, we're thinking about a video contest, a meme contest. Like we need to decide, because like the next on the list, it's making like presentation video, you know, for the project that needs to be not very long, because you know how people are today. They want to see everything like fast, you know.
Minute or less, I think, is average attention span. Maybe 45 seconds is like
Yeah,
average
yeah,
watch time on some of these different socials.
yeah. So probably we will have like 1, 2, 3 small videos like telling the story, you know, like with the mystery behind it, with the meme, with what's to come, to present a bit the Psyot channel, which is like the investigation channel, where like you can see some connections there with like you know, the dev. It's like he the story is like the dev. It's like an old Tesla investor, you know, since 2004. Tesla, like as a company, was made in 2003, and in 2004 it was like just offices, you know. So this guy can be like even like it can be like an investor in Tesla, if you ask me. Like there are so many like scrambles there if you go on that channel, you know. So we need to catch on this, because like there are so many good parts about it, you know. So we're trying to do that video, and like also some good memes, you know.
And I did
And
want
since
to
Christmas is coming, yeah.
and I did want to go into what you guys may be doing to put some of those memes on the blockchain via NFTs, because I know that's something that you know, you guys as a community or as a team may have kicked around. I don't know if that's been released to the community yet, but I know with how how creative some of the content is and how unique some of the content. And again, it's just, you know, the PFPs, if somebody were to get an NFT and, you know, make it a PFP, I think, you know, we've seen it, especially as you guys maybe start to increase your presence on Twitter and Twitter Spaces. If you guys get your community all out there rocking those flying avocado cat PFPs, well, that's going to catch some eyes. You know, we've seen it with other 100 million plus projects in the past, like Volt and stuff, where if you drop into a Volt space, you'll probably see 85% of people with those lightning bolts, right? So it's that type of branding that can kind of get you guys to the next level. So I'm wondering if you guys do have plans to release a collection and what that may look like, if it's holder specific or if it's something that's maybe going to be released more to the public.
Like we had a guy that wanted to make for the community some NFTs, but the point is that the dev, it's creating the smart contract for the NFTs, and he will also drop NFT for the holders, you know. Like this is what's to come, and probably it will come fast, because like he posted a tweet on the main Twitter saying that chapter 2 it's loading, which is basically the smart contract and the NFTs, you know. So the NFTs from the if you read the Medium article I gave you on the presentation, you have the Medium article. The NFTs will be for the holders, and if like somebody that it's not the holders want to buy the NFT, they will need to burn some fuck. This is the way probably it will play out, and then yeah, we will have the NFT. So basically, we can do the profile picture. You know, we can
It'll be
for
the
sure
first
we will change.
721. It'll be the first ERC-721 contract written by GROK as well. So it kind of continues on the same theme. And that's not to say that, you know, the community doesn't create other NFT collections along with kind of the quote unquote official one that's being worked on by our mysterious developer V.
I wanted to get into that because, NFTs have been, a little bit down recently, but if you're able to get something at a low enough price point where the community, gets in, we've seen them still, if you're talking about on the secondary market, they can become a great resource for the project if maybe the volume's not there. If you guys can build a fee structure in where you're benefiting from the secondary sales and whatnot. If the volume slows on a chart, but the NFTs are really popular, that can be a good way to sometimes supplement. I've seen it recently on some projects on a few different layer twos that have had success with the NFT side of the project, almost more from volume than the token. So yeah, just something I was curious if you guys would build in to support the chart too.
I mean, definitely possible. We don't know all the details of what V has planned for that quote unquote official collection. And yeah, I mean, I think that's the beauty of this space is like it's programmable money, programmable project. Like we can continue to adapt and like set things up in a way that that is most positive for the community. I think myself, I can't talk about to the degree that like an NFT could have like cash flows or something like that. I'm in the US, so not sure on that one, but I think anything's possible.
Do you guys have any plans as well? Because a lot of the times what we see with these strong memes as they run, the longer they stay active and their community continues to form, they'll start to over time incorporate different utilities, whether it's the form of a bot. There's a number of different ways we've seen projects go to further their reach and kind of start the transition from a traditional meme to more of a meme-tility project, quote unquote. But what do you guys maybe have in the works? Is there anything the community or the team has suggested to fit the brand or the narrative here of FAC?
We spoke about the bot, but like the ideas are like unlimited, on the spaces every time we speak. But for now, like we need to see that NFTs for V from the dev, and then maybe we can do some community NFTs, But exactly after the drop, probably he will have the chapter 3, and I'm thinking about maybe there's like a way if there's a way to integrate GROK on the TG, This is what I'm thinking. It can be like a no-brainer, Like if he has access at like an unrestricted version of GROK, maybe to like make an integration. It's something that it's not written anywhere. It's what I'm thinking, So we are waiting a bit from the dev to do something until we do it first. Also with the NFTs, I think it's better to have the original NFTs first and then to add something from the community, if it makes sense.
That does. And again, I'm a fan of what you guys have done so far. I don't want to get ahead of myself either with it, with the questions or some of the discussion points I get into. No, go ahead.
It's nothing. It's nothing. You can ask anything basically, because like it's like we are transparent. Like we cannot tell you something that we don't know yet. It's exactly. Like. But we are trying our best to push the project and to create something and to get the community involved. That's why we made contest, the coloring book. I know it's not much, but the project, it's like young, it's 1 month. In 1 month, we kind of made something around, and we like created the community, which is like getting more and more involved, which is like a good sign,
I honestly agree with you. Like I said, I don't want to get ahead of myself because you guys are a month old, and from where you guys started at just 4K, you never know how those launches are going to go. You never know where things may play out. You never know if people are going to, adopt your concept, right? You never know how people are going to buy in or feel about the design or the meme or your logo. You don't know if your ticker is going to be catchy enough to take off, right? There's so many unknowns before you go into a launch of any token or any project. So again, what I was more so kind of getting at was I think you guys have done a great job in the first month, and it's not there yet, but obviously I'll give you guys congrats on your 1 month anniversary, a day early. It is nice to see that the community is still super active on the content side. It seems like your holder count is still slowly going up, which is what you want to see. You guys have almost, closing in slowly on 1,500 holders, which is great. For a month-old token, sometimes it takes projects a couple of months to get there. You guys haven't done a crazy amount of marketing either, right? Which is kind of cool because I believe this is the first AMA that you've been on. And I know we're going to bring you guys to Meme Culture with us on Tuesday night, which I'm pretty excited for because I think our other guests will really enjoy what you guys have built over there and your community and your content. So I'm happy to bring you guys there, and I'm excited to see what the other kind of keynotes have to say about your community and your brand. But just good job so far. I mean, there's some interesting things you guys talked about. I mean, holidays are around the corner. I'm expecting, as most people do, sometimes the volume, dries up a little bit around the holidays as people spend some time with their families and whatnot. But, if you guys can run some fun it doesn't have to necessarily reflect on the chart, but if you guys can keep the community really active and positive going into the new year, I'm sure there's going to be a big push from like Elon and some of these guys about their GROK and what he's building. And I just think the AI narrative going into 2024 is really strong. And with you guys kind of starting out from your origins with that smart contract being created through GROK, you have that connection to the AI meta without necessarily being an AI-driven project yourself.
Exactly.
Being able to kind of focus on that community side. So again, I think it's smartly positioned. The content is really fun. Like I said, even your song that you sent me was catchy. I was kind of singing it back to myself a little bit there for a while. And I love the John Cena clip you paired it to. Buck and myself always send each other that GIF. So yeah, that kind of hit me. That made me laugh too, as well as it was a pretty catchy song. So you guys have done a good job, and I have to give you props. I know Will and some of our other communities, Caesar himself, even when we were chatting in the lead up, he said, dude, like their chart is really impressive for a meme coin that's not just directly, a copy and paste narrative that's like after a month. So he's like, I want to get these guys in and kind of learn more about what they're building and kind of how their community is forming. So I just got to say thank you and thank you as well, Donut, just for jumping in here, man, and taking some time out of your Saturday, both of you, to really introduce our community here to FAC. And, hopefully throughout the presentation, you picked up a couple more FAC'CERs.
Thank you very much for all. Thank you for the ideas and for hosting. I wanted to touch something up because we are 1 month old and we had a bit of issue in the beginning, because it was hard for people to believe that the contract was made by GROK, That's something that we had to fight for, because people were doubting because maybe it's fake and so on until the proof came, So we it was a bit rough for us to also keep the community, keep it clean, keep it, help them understand, making the investigation that the video is not fake and so on, comparing the screenshots from our dev interface of GROK, to other early adopters that you see on X and so on. So that's why probably the chart it's looking like this, you know what I mean? Because there was hope, then people got freaked out about we had some FUD a bit, You get the point. It's crypto, but we finally got the community strong. We have the base for the beginning of a really big community. I hope,
I didn't know if Donut wanted to jump in with any other closing statements, but I really
Yeah.
enjoyed listening to you guys, and I'll throw you the mic just after I say a quick thanks again, ENS, for coming by. It was a pleasure chatting with you in DMs, and I know Will said some nice things about what you guys are building up there. He's enjoyed his time with the community. I think he actually showed this one to me pretty early, and we were gonna maybe. I think he wanted to get you in for a spot on the meme culture, but I think just because of the time zone, we weren't able to get it done at the end of November. So I'm happy we were able to like officially get the AMA set up, and it's actually for me. I'm kind of a weird buyer in the space and a weird individual in the way that like I want to see how a community builds, like, but I don't chase hype. Like, hype is cool and all, like, obviously you want hype because hype does bring a certain level of volume, and obviously you need volume to kind of keep getting eyes and more volume. I understand that aspect, but for me, it's you want communities to form, especially if you're a meme token. You need an identity there, because if it's all about hype or marketing, the second that stops, what happens to the project? Well, we see it every day, right? Well, you guys are kind of very unique right now in the sense that you've been around for a month. You've hit almost 4 million. You're sitting still like, 50% of your all-time high, which is well up from what your launch price was a month ago. But you haven't really pushed a ton of marketing, right? You haven't exhausted those boxes yet. So, there's still a lot of exposure potentially left out there for you guys, and a lot of untapped areas for you to go into. So for me, it's nice that there's, like you said, there's still a lot of potential with the meme, because you haven't exhausted, pushing 50 calls a day and, overdoing it from that standpoint. So I do have to say, props to you guys for organically, through content and the community alone, kind of building this one up through the narrative and everything without really exhausting your connections or your chance for that second leg or the later push. So very smart in the strategy, it seems like, and it makes sense why people who were kind of in touch early and wanted to push for this AMA had the positive things to say about it. So Donut, sorry for the long-windedness. I will throw it back to you to officially close out. But yeah, I think you guys have done very well on your planning and rollout here.
Thanks again for hosting us, and yeah, let's hopefully get some new community members in who are interested. Seeing a lot of people enter the Telegram is awesome. More fun ahead. Let's fuck around and find out.
I wanted to say something at the end. We have community spaces in 50 minutes every day at the same hour. So if everybody from this community or from everywhere wants to join a space with the fuckers, they can join every day around this hour.
On Twitter there?
Yeah, it's hosted by me.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, no, I'll get that edited into the main post and for later on if they miss, because yeah, really good discussion. I like what you guys are doing. Good on the mic. I can tell the passion's there. You have that love for the community and, for the content that they're creating. So keep it up, guys. And, just for now, it's not goodbye. It's just until next time. And I'll see you next time on Tuesday night with that meme culture space. It should be a lot of fun. And I think the other panelists will really enjoy what you guys have built here so far. So I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Awesome, man. It was really enjoyable. Have a great rest of your Saturday. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend, man. Have a good space.
Exactly.
And, crack a beer after, because I think you earned it.
Yeah, we need it. Also, you. Thank you very much
Thanks
for
so
having
much, guys. Have a great rest of your day.